The digital clock on my laptop glowed like a silent threat. 45 minutes left. My heart pounded, a frantic primal rhythm inside my chest, screaming at me to stay sharp, stay focused. This was it. The final stretch of the timed assessment for the senior product manager role at Aura Tech, the company I'd been dreaming of since the very start of my career. After endless rejections, draining interviews that led nowhere, and weeks of emotional exhaustion, this felt like my last real shot. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, trembling slightly. Losing my job at Innovate Solutions had hit me like a punch I never saw coming. One moment I was leading promising AI initiatives, on track for a promotion, and the next, I was just another line on a restructuring spreadsheet. The silence that followed was the worst part. The routine I once resented now felt like a void. Purpose had vanished. Therapy helped. Dr. Eris, my therapist, was a lifeline. But even she couldn't replicate the feeling of waking up with direction, of building something meaningful. So I threw myself into the job hunt. Every application was a flicker of hope. Every rejection, another cut I had to patch up and push past. But Auratech, they felt different. Their mission inspired me. Their products excited me. Their process was rigorous but fair. When I got the email inviting me to take the 1-hour assessment, I felt something I hadn't felt in months. Confidence. They'd been transparent. Time, format, expectations. I prepared obsessively. Product frameworks, market analysis, pressure simulations. I did it all. I was ready. Except for one thing. My anxiety. High-pressure tests mess with me. Physically, my chest tightens, my thoughts scatter. A single distraction can snap the fragile thread of focus I cling to. That's why, the night before, I sat Liam down. "Babe," I said, holding his hand tightly on the couch, "tomorrow's test is everything. It's timed. I get anxious. I need total silence. No interruptions, please. Promise me?" He nodded, eyes serious. "Anya, I get it. I'll stay out of your way. You won't even know I'm here." I believed him. I needed to. So, yesterday, the moment had come. I'd sealed myself in the office, blinds drawn, headphones on standby. My desk, a war room. Water, pen, clean notebook. Focus, precision, this was the zone. The first half flew by. I was doing well, confident even. But around the 20-minute mark, the fog started creeping in. The questions got harder. My breathing shallowed. My palms grew slick with sweat. And then the door creaked open. I froze. "Please, no." Liam stepped inside. "Sorry, ignore me," he mumbled like it was nothing. Nothing. He walked straight to the drawer by my desk, rummaging, metal clinking loudly, breaking the fragile silence I'd wrapped myself in like armor. "Liam, please leave," I said, voice low and controlled, trying to hold the dam from bursting. "I just need to grab something," he replied, not even looking up. "Ignore me." I stared at my screen. Now just a blur of shapes and letters. I couldn't think. I couldn't breathe. And then it snapped. "I can't ignore you," I shouted, slamming my hand on the desk. "I asked you to stay out for 1 hour. Just get the fuck out!" The words came out raw, sharp enough to sting both of us. He flinched, finally meeting my eyes, then quietly left, the door clicking shut behind him. But the damage was done. The room felt different now. Thicker, tighter. The final 15 minutes of the test were chaos, guesswork, panic. My answers were a blur of instinct and desperation. And when the timer hit 0, I leaned back, drained. Not relieved, just empty. Minutes passed before the door opened again. Liam stood there, arms crossed, face unreadable. "Done?" he asked. I nodded, silent. "You didn't have to yell like that," he said coldly. "You were completely out of line." My breath caught. "Me? Out of line? I asked you." "Clearly, repeatedly," I said, trying to stay calm. "You promised, and you broke it. It was just a test, Anya. It's not the end of the world. And the way you screamed at me? Honestly, it was childish." That word. Childish. It landed like a slap. I stared at him, stunned. "Childish?" I echoed. "You think I'm childish because I care? Because I've spent months rebuilding my confidence after losing everything?" "It's a job test," he said, shrugging. "You're acting like you were defusing a bomb. This whole thing, tech jobs, apps, games, it's not that deep." My heart cracked open. I felt the tears before I could stop them. "This thing you're mocking?" I said, voice trembling. "It's not a game. It's my career. My identity. I build things that help real people. I've worked so hard, sacrificed so much, and you think it's a joke?" He looked away, said nothing. That silence told me everything. I turned back to my desk, wiping my tears. The test was over. But something bigger had just begun. A new kind of reckoning. One that had nothing to do with jobs or companies, and everything to do with trust. Because in that moment, I realized something far more painful than rejection. The person I loved didn't respect who I was.